My name is Cole. I'm here with the future pie boy of San Diego.
No!
And this is going to be a good event. What?
You're the one who went against the grain for our European predictions, and you went Vitality here. Okay, going against myself, Johnny and Shogun, who all went Oxygen, as did the entire desk. So you, future pie boy, I put it to you, do you still feel confident in that pick, considering the form that Oxygen found themselves on?
Yes.
Do I need an answer? Alpha, come on, man, we're 6 seconds in.
That is absolutely disgusting from Alpha. The players, their rubbers are barely warmed up on their cars, and yet already Alpha is showing why Vitality are so much more than just the meanest defense so far in this event. They're up against Oxygen, some of the best attackers statistically. But when you can score solo goals like that, Stumpy, you always stand a chance.
I feel like that's a pretty good start as well in this series, because what we're going to want from Oxygen is, if you're a Vitality fan, you want them to remember how much they got smacked around by Sonics. At the start of that series yesterday, sure, Oxygen ended up winning, but try and just feed into their complex that they might have about starting off that series slow. They ended brilliantly and rise to that top corner, the newest man on the Oxygen roster, and has he not just fit in like a key in a lock?
He's perfect, Rise. Whichever team he joins, he is able to elevate them in ways they've never seen before. I love the way he plays Rocket League ever since bursting onto the scene. Way back when in RLCS X with Barrage, he's always seemed a little bit special, a player who's able to turn a series on its head and alter the speed that a series is played. They needed that yesterday against the Sonics. 6 seconds in, they could have needed it here, and he's already got the ball again. Radosin's flying in. Alpha's able to take it away. A rip-roaring start to this one. We're only in game 1 of a best of 7. It could be 2-1 already. Alpha, this time it's easy for him. It was Sizen that did most of the work.
I love the movement from Sizen here. He jumps up, tries to force the player at the back in the air, sees he's still grounded. Jorian has to wait to then jump. Meanwhile, Alpha's moving in on the net with the ball. It's a straight line for him. And Sizen, as Jorian then decides to, is able to aerial, get rid of him from the pitch. Just really nice mind games there from Sizen, able to suss out where Jorian wanted to go and shut down the angle.
It's almost like Vitality are getting rid of all this frustration they've had for such a long time. They're such a fabled org in the Rocket League world who've won world championships, won events.
To be here.
It is. Alpha as well, especially. Seeing him pop is great for us as viewers of the esport.
Yeah, I mean, it's taken a while, I think, for Alpha to have some teammates that are going to make sure that he is able to be the player, you know, be the guy. And Johnny used that term a little while ago, but I love it. It's just being the guy, be the horrible one to play against. Archie there had a great chance to score. We're shooting just wide, keeps Vitality with that 2-1 lead. And Alpha, you know, being the scorer of one of those goals, he's able to perform at the level where he doesn't need to think about what his teammates are doing. He doesn't need to fill in patches in this ship. He's able to just run riot and be an absolute menace. So I'm extremely happy to see Vitality on the form that they legendarily should be.
A couple of uncharacteristic misses so far from Oxygen. First, Archie's open goal, which he absolutely should have been scoring. But then after that, Jory is going on the backboard. Did expect him to finish it. Rise can put this one away, but again, this time it's saved by Vitality. Shinar coming forwards, though. Looking a little bit better. We know recently this is a team that are able to switch it up even if they're struggling. And even in the microcosm of this game, they've changed. They've upped the pace. Vitality struggling to deal with it, but have managed to do so for the last minute or so now.
We've also seen how both these teams are going to want to play the series. If we look and if we zoom out and see what the stats are saying about these two, you go Oxygen, they are attacking. They're the most offensive team in the event with the highest goals, highest shots, and second in their successful shot percentage. Meanwhile, Vitality, they want to be on that defensive side, but that will let them down on this time. They held out for a while till Jorius was able to poach on the goal line.
This is good play from Archie there in the corner. Managed to get the ball over the goal, and once you do that, you make it so difficult for your opponents to defend against it. It was a horrible situation the Vitality defender found himself in. Do you touch the ball, maybe get an own goal? Do you just let it go? In the end, he chose to let it go, and that's exactly what Jorius wanted. Another equalizer for Oxygen. And they're going to keep on attacking. Oxygen, you can see, Stumpy, why they are the best offense so far in this event.
They link up so fantastically well. I'm enjoying as well seeing this era of Archie being much more assisting. He knows that he's able to feed Jorius and Rise any shape of ball, any direction, trajectory, speed, and they will do something positive with it. He knows that is the position that he is going to be filling in on this team. At large, of course, he's got his own shooting ability of his own, but when you got Rise and Jorius, a lot of the time it's going to be feed them, send it down the channels. Don't make them have to work for their goals. Give it to them as on much of a silver platter as you can.
Rise is going to send that one into the corner where Alpha wants to get it past Rise. Can't do so. It's more good play for him. Let's in Archie.
Brilliant.
He missed an open goal earlier. Not going to miss that one.
Rise on the backboard here, again, going for that off-ball play. Knows it's already in the position, and so then forces Sizen to fly up awkwardly. Knows Sizen is thinking, Rise is behind me, I need to get out of his way. And so Archie capitalizes on that movement from that back line, can just shoot it strong at the net, and their defense is scrambled. The lead, the swing, going in favor of Oxygen.
The first time so far in this game, and indeed this series, that Oxygen have had the lead, and they are vying for a rematch of the first regional of last split as well, in full, where they managed to topple Carmine Corp 4-2. Both teams, of course, ended up making it to the major, so they'd love to repeat that process with Rise instead of Oli, who was dropped after the major. Vitality are trying to make it difficult for them. Alpha's coming in. That one's going to go a little bit over the top.
That's open.
And this could be the counter. Rise puts that one a little bit wide, I think. No, it's rolling straight in. 4-2 to Oxygen.
I think that's where Vitality are thinking, we need to now go against our typical grain, try and go somewhere different. We need to get a couple of goals, and as Shogun very intelligently pointed out earlier, you don't win championships by being defensive. Who would have known? So I feel like with Vitality throwing everything there, yeah, a minute left, maybe a little bit too soon that they threw everything, because now they need to try and claw back 2 goals. Instead it was just 1 a minute ago, so I don't hate the idea from Vitality, I just don't like the timing.
I'm sure that Farah will be having a word with them, saying that
What a
in
mind.
future, if you are 1 goal behind with a minute and a half left, that's not the time to throw the bus at them. You know, keep it part just that little while longer, because now suddenly 2 goals needed is looking a long, long way away, especially with Rice starting to make these mechanical touches. Alphys is waiting for Sizen's touch. Jory is steaming in. And now Vitality struggling to clear their lines. Oxygen squeezing the life out of them. She's been doing that to teams since his top blokes days. Team still playing that same play style. It's Rise on the backboard, sends it out wide. It's looking like we're going to be creeping towards a 1-0 lead in the series to Oxygen, unless Radostin's touch into the center works out perfectly. And it's not really happening, Stumpy. And we are seeing again why Oxygen are so dangerous, especially if they clear this one.
Yeah, I mean, with Oxygen, they are quite happy to absorb just a bit of defense. Sure, they're going to want to take some shots on, give them a couple of stats for that leaderboard. But ultimately, their main aim is push them hard, push them fast, make them just so awkward and horrible to try and work around. But then when you're trying to push Vitality's defense to that stretch, they can work out of a pocket. And I feel Vitality have got more that they can give in this next game, because Oxygen, yeah, their offense is stronger. But then we saw magic at the start of that one. Alpha, he kicked it off.